Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. This is your game ally and your arch enemy, Patrick here, author of this book, GM of this game, and director of this little podcast we call home. I want to welcome you back to another episode of Season 3 of Cosmic Crit. It really feels great being back playing Starfinder again on a regular schedule after the holidays are through. As much as the vacation was nice, we are all really excited about the new characters that you met last week, and of course this new adventure path that we get to play this year. Quick announcements for the podcast, for the show. We have dates for our online charity Paizo-supported convention, CritterCon 3. This is the third year for the convention, our online convention for fans and Starfinder friends and fans alike. So mark your calendars now for April 17th through the 19th, 2020. We'll have more announcements about guests and the games in the coming months, but if you want to play some Starfinder Society, raise money for an amazing charity, then CritterCon is for you. So mark your calendars. Before we get much further into Season 1, I wanted to dedicate this episode, our first real meaty episode, to a few people. In fact, an entire table of Crittermanders that are playing through the Attack of the Swarm AP right now. They are led by GM John, aka John 30041, and the players are Alex, Patrick, Bearded Kraken, Mulebeard, Javi. They were kind enough to let me observe their online game of this AP as they fought through this first book, and now they're well into the second book. And I am dedicating this entire episode to you all. Thank you for enjoying this game, for your various Patreon support, and listening to the show as well. I hope that this SDF squad can live up to the example of the characters Pentos, KR, Zelzig, Jace, Lita, and Hax, of course. Hope they can live up to your character's awesome example. Thanks again so much for all of you and everyone listening out there that have played Attack of the Swarm and given us your feedback online. You can rate it online, and if you like it, tell people what you like about it. Now it's time that we get back into this week's episode. Dive in, as we say. The squad has assembled at Camp Cavalier, and it's time to get to work on beating back the swarm. This is episode 118 of Cosmic Crit, and we call it Doomed Patrol.
Episode commencing in 3, 2, 1. Episode initiated.
Listen up, you Goombas, you Troopas, and you knock-off dime store Koopas. We're warp-piping into a whole new set of video game intros this season of Super Cosmic Crit Bros. My name is Patrick, and I'm the GM here, a guiding mushroom telling you that the princess you're looking for is in another castle. Joining me in blasting bullet bills, pole vaulting piranha plants, and collectively claiming coins and power-ups. Why, it's my 5 friends and your player 2s. To my right, she's the nerd in the clouds, raining death from above. It's Rebecca rolling with Zinnia.
Hello.
Across from her, he'll hammer you from afar with pinpoint grenade throwing arcs. It's Drew delivering Echo 7.
Let's go.
To my right, this lanky brother has the power of an indestructible Starman. It's Tyler dredging up Devasho. Across from him, telekinetically blasting a turtle shell in your direction. Why, it's Jabert, playing as Trest.
Lasagna.
And across the digital table, no magic mushroom's gonna make this tiny terror any taller. Why, it's Miles mixing it up with Sprout.
Good evening.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the show.
Was it weird for anybody else to be introduced by our season 3 character names?
I was a little caught off guard, not gonna lie.
It was the order for me. I'm not used to being first. That's really strange for me.
Mixing everything up this season.
Although minor connection, it's sprouts plural.
Okay, thank God.
I'll call you what I want, Miles, okay? But really, no, reading these, I had to read them very carefully. I'm like, who is this character? What the Trest? Okay, I guess.
Sports.
Super Mario references going back to OG, the first one. Video game intros this season, folks. Didn't have one last week because I didn't want to, reveal the characters, in that episode 0. But oh yeah, for season 3, it's all about them games. And I know we can talk for probably an hour here about the episode 0, and well, we had a whole hour conversation about that last week. But this is a regular episode. I want to get back into it, folks. Back into season 3, Attack of the Swarm, Fate of the Fifth. You guys ready?
Yeah,
let's do it.
No, incorrect.
Let's squash us some bugs.
None of you are ready. None of you are ready, nor the audience, because we got to recap last week's episode. And to do that, we have a new last time on Cosmic Crit section of the podcast as well. Recapping our adventure this season isn't going to be the players, not you guys, but rather one of the player characters. And so, Sprouts Marlowe, PI, tell us what happened last time on Cosmic Crit.
War as hell. It was another Fleam day in Bronx City, the end of the universe with a giant stop sign, the planet Suskillon. The swarm came in 6 months ago and ripped out the joint. Single-minded bugs think they can eat the whole universe. But the folks here in Suskillon Defense Force think otherwise. They've been fighting hard to beat back the Vexers and take back their world. That's where I come in, me and my squad. We gotta meet with the top brass today to figure out what's what and who's who around Camp Cavalier. There's something happening, no one's talking. But tight lips and kung fu grips in the 5th Battalion. Sounds like a job for Marlowe. Sprouts Marlowe, PI.
So amazing. I love it so much. I don't know what music we're putting behind that yet. I don't know if it's going to be the standard last time on music, but
we got to get like some like typical like noirish, like the Twin Peaks, the boom, boom.
Yeah. Why don't I just use the Twin Peaks music? They're not gonna hear.
No, but something like that,
Yeah, jazz,
Cool jazz. So this episode wakes up. You guys are sharing a large barracks, glorified tent. And as you wake up to the morning bell here in Camp Cavalier, you can see your breath frozen in the air above you, freezing outside, barely much warmer in the barracks. You guys get yourself situated, maybe do a quick resupply with Camp Cavalier's Master at Arms, get suited up. Before we started the adventure path, as you do in your character creation, you had 1,000 credits to purchase weapons and armor and things like that. We didn't really talk too much about that last week, and including in the, talk about your characters section, like what exactly like weapons and gear you're sporting. That's going to come out as we play. But does anybody have something they're very excited about that they bought they want to talk about? I know we got some laser pistols and some second skin armor. That's
classic. It's pretty bare bones, and we've been kind of had it beaten to our heads that it's survival of the fittest in this AP. So it's like just serum of healing and ammo and
can't go wrong with ammo.
I have something that I'm really excited about. I honestly cannot remember if we talked about it in the last episode or not, but I got a camouflage membrane, which I think will be really cool, especially for my stealthy character.
For those people that are looking to run this AP, there is a arming the battalion section at the back of the first book, which has got a lot of lower level gear and some upper level gear for soldiers in the SDF. No weapons or armor, but different things they might have on them, including service medallions and things like that. Other gear for fighting the swarm. Anybody have a weapon they're excited to test out against the bug army?
I have a heavy weapon that I'm starting with.
Yeah.
And I have not shot a heavy weapon in this game at all so far.
Oh, they're fun.
So this is going to be interesting. And
what do you have, Drew?
It's a hail cannon, a Sub-Zero hail cannon. So it's cold damage and it's automatic, so I can empty the clip if I want to and waste a battery.
You got a few of those batteries?
That's why I don't have a second gun.
Just the one battery. Yeah, thank you very much.
I'm excited because it's the first time I've remembered to purchase environmental clothing before a campaign, so got that going for me.
Oh no, Jabbar.
Completely useless, right? I mean, I'm sure not all of you guys purchased that very important article, which is basically a jacket in this AP where it's freezing cold outside.
They unfortunately, I tried, but they didn't make any in Devasho's side.
I'm not sure that Echo has to actually worry about that, but
so this adventure path came out in August, like the end of August, where it's like 90 degrees where most of us are, but the AP is set in the dead of winter. But we are playing this in the dead of winter, which I'm very excited about. I can kind of sympathize maybe with your characters a little bit, as I'm wearing a scarf right now in my recording studio, aka my office, with my warm socks on. Right, so as you guys are re-equipped and getting ready for your first day here at the camp, you hear the breakfast bell ringing. You guys can go and eat. It's about 100 or so other soldiers in another large, glorified plastic tent. There are space heaters that kind of line the cheap wooden tables and plastic chairs you're set about to sit at, and they do very little to keep out the cold as well. But once you guys get in the mass of soldiers, their body heat kind of warms you up. One thing that you do have though here, it's very great warm breakfast, oats and cured meats and roasted veggies. Suskillon is kind of the breadbasket of this star system, and that means that the SDF is at the very least well fed. And as you guys take your seats, like all military mess halls, there's a great deal of scuttlebutt going on. Rumors and the like passed back and forth like a currency amongst the soldiers here as they liven up their meals with gossip and a little bit of hearsay. If you, as new soldiers in this battalion, want to engage in a little friendly chit-chat, please make your characters roll either diplomacy or a profession soldier skill check. And someone actually brought up on the forums that profession soldier isn't listed in the core rulebook as like a skill, but you can literally make up any profession. You could be a profession sommelier if you wanted.
Good idea.
All right, geez.
All right,
guys.
All right, step aside, everybody. The king soldier's coming through.
All right, these are some high.
What's going on? And right behind him, the tiny terror himself.
We've got two natural 20s, Jabert and we've got a natural 19. I'm not skipping past you, Tyler. You get some credit for the super skill check. Zinnia, Rebecca, you've got profession soldier as well.
I do.
Right, so it's a fairly easy one to try and get some info from these folks. A little easier for the profession soldier check. Sadly, Drew, Echo 7 is like nearly impossible to talk to, I imagine, if you rolled a 6 on diplomacy here.
Entering standby mode.
I'm not sure why, but people want to talk to the bugs and the teeny plant a little bit more.
And the bird person.
And our good friend the Strix. Now you rolled almost as high. You've got a banger bonus on profession soldier, a +8 to
operative baby
to this check. Oh my goodness. You don't need a 19 or 20. So from that, all of you that have rolled a success, roll a d8 for me, and I'm going to give you a little bit of what these soldiers are talking about. And
wasn't on our side this time.
Miles, you rolled a d6.
Oh, whoops. Let me do that again.
I was about to say, you both rolled a 3. Let's do that again.
Miles, you rolled a d6.
Oh, God.
I don't know how you could fail so hard at this.
Oh my God,
Miles! I'm pressing
You're doing
D8.
this on purpose.
No, I'm serious. I swear I'm not. Actually, I need to check my macro because I think my D8 might be. Yeah, my D8 was configured wrong. Yeah. I'm pressing DA. I swear, my macro was set wrong.
Goodness gracious! I love the shenanigans.
There we go.
Right at the start. All right, so you guys, you've rolled 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's go through some swarm rumors. For our friend Trest, you get to chatting with a human soldier who says, my tech industry coworker from back before the wars, serving in logistics, and said that he did the math and knows that the SDF has, quote unquote, tactically withdrawn its forces from 90% of the battles it has conducted and ceded about 20,000 square miles to the swarm. And despite this, we're still at a 35% attrition rate. And if you've ever seen an SDF battle map where all the areas have red ink labeled BBBS on it, well, that stands for beaten back by the swarm. And what it really means is we ran with our tail between our legs.
This checks out.
You think that one's true?
I would say it seems likely.
Miles Sprouts gets to talking and gets a very animated soldier who says, from what I heard, there was this unit. You know, they were in a skirmish in the hinterlands. You know, SDF out there on some kind of extraction job. A friend of my sister's here in the army say that they were attacked by a swarm regiment. But the swarm wasn't trying to kill them. No. They were trying to take the squad alive. And when they went back in looking for that squad, well, they found out why. This soldier stands up from the table. Now he's got like a crowd listening to him. And he imitates a huge object getting rammed into the top of his skull. The swarm was there sucking out the soldiers' brains like it was a tropical beverage. Said they must have been trying to figure out our tactics, our movements, that kind of thing, by eating the soldiers' brains.
You keep chinning nonsense. If the swarm will get a hold of you, you're behind the 8-ball, straight shot for a pine box. They don't take no live prisoner.
Well, that's not what I heard.
Sprouts probably just kind of shrugs him off and gets back to his food because he thinks this guy's clearly just full of nonsense.
Devasho, you have a quiet corner of this table who's talking, and one of them is kind of laughing off the antics of this prior piece of gossip, and this soldier, a battle-hardened looking Lashuntan, says, the way I hear it, Swarm only invaded Suskillon because of a metal that's found up in the mountains, and well, once they strip it down, they're going to move off and we'll be free and clear of them. I mean, that's why they landed in the north by the mountains to begin with.
Interesting. Did you hear what the metal was called?
I don't know much from geology.
Yes, I am not a rock man myself, more of a jazz player.
Really?
Yes. I was introduced to some of the best jazz music the universe has to offer thanks to my husband. It has grown on me over the years. I've had to listen to it. But if it is true that the swarm only care about minerals and mountains, I wonder why we are fighting so hard in other lands and territories.
They don't have an answer for that, but this perks up a very battle-weary looking vet, a Kasathan with a wide scarf and his bottom left arm in an SDF bandage. And he looks up and says over towards Zinnia, I have seen the swarm. I have faced them on the battlefield. Something is not right with them here. They appear like their connection to their psychic host gets lost, or maybe it is muddled. I think that there is something here on this planet that is throwing them off.
Really? That's fascinating. Is that something that I can do a xenobiology check on to see if I know anything about the swarm that might corroborate that?
Well, you know easily that almost every single swarm component that anyone has ever faced does have a link, a psychic link with all the other pieces of the swarm around them. So if they are within a psychic range of one another, one of them can kind of communicate across vast distances very quickly with like a swarm conversation as fast as psychic thought goes. So,
but perhaps not so much on this planet is what it sounds like, according to this person.
Well, it's a fairly new war, so maybe something here is throwing them off. But this is only a rumor, perhaps not proven true or false yet.
Can I possibly turn to the Lashuntan that was speaking earlier and ask if have you experienced any strangeness with your psychic abilities on this planet?
He kind of shakes his head. It's like, I've lived here for many years, not more than I've ever felt before.
Interesting. Zinnia gets a notebook out and makes some notes.
Oh, nerd stuff. Here we go. You mean Rebecca
me and my books.
Yeah. Rebecca's taking a book out. Rebecca, did you buy a new notebook for this season?
Not a new notebook because I had plenty of space left after season 2.
All right. Well,
I started a new page.
I was about to say.
I wonder if there isn't some truth to both rumors. Perhaps instead of wanting the rocks in the mountain, it is the rocks that are throwing off their telepathic capabilities, and they seek to investigate it. Something that would be interesting for study.
I mean,
I agree.
I can't tell you guys which of these are true and which are false, or if any of them are in fact true, or are any of them false. But I will tell you that you gotta get out there and figure this out for yourselves.
Let's just head straight to the mountains. Let's just derelict
straight to the front line. Oh boy, this campaign's gonna be short. As you guys are talking, eating, and swapping these stories, a holographic news display pops up kind of in the center of this tent. SNN, Suskillon's news network. One of the nearby soldiers thumbs up the broadcast, and you will hear a desk woman saying, "This is Colna Durney. Thank you for making SNN your source of all news related to the Swarm invasion. It's day 187 of the Swarm attack on Suskillon. As we have been reporting now from our embedded positions on the front line, for the 17th straight day, the Swarm movements have slowed, and their advance across the Alolan Peninsula have been all but halted in this last week. We reached out to the Coldwater Laboratories of the BBRC, and scientist Jan Billings said that their unexplained lack of movement could be a reaction to our planet's unnaturally cold winters, though Swarm have been known to operate in sub-zero temperatures in other invasion forces across the galaxy. Speaking with the troops on the ground, though, they think that this might mark a turning point in the ground war for Suskillon. From the 2nd Battalion in Brunoa, soldiers are calling the most recent White Squall storm their, quote, ally in the sky. This reporter is unconvinced, though, as we do not have all the facts on this as of late, and so, as always, we will continue to gather the news that's fit to beam and have updates on the hour every hour. This has been your SNN News Minute. Thank you for making us your hollow source for the truth."
Was there any kind of visual, like a map showing where the swarm had stopped in relation to where the battle was occurring?
Yeah, I mean, you guys have probably seen maps filtering in like over the past couple of weeks, and for the most part, like they have been represented the Swarm invasion force on the planet as a big kind of like red splotch on the two main continents. And yeah, it's been steadily growing almost daily, but it has in fact slowed or stopped across almost the entire front for like the last week or so, and that's been a big point of contention. They've not observed this kind of activity in the Swarm before. So what do your characters think about that?
Geographically, does it seem to be near the mountains, or based on that rumor that we heard?
Well, they initially landed kind of like high in the mountains, but have since spread out very far from there. So
okay,
probably not. Tyler?
I do agree that this marks a good omen for us. Perhaps with these reinforcements, we will be able to turn the ground war in our favor. The faster this war ends, the sooner I can get home.
Maybe, but this is suspicious. The Swarm are not known for their, patience.
You bring up a great point. If we are not cautious here, we could walk ourselves right into a trap.
Yes, indeed, what I was thinking. Could it be a feint? But that's above our pay grade, I assume. We'll, and just Tress just sort of cocks a pistol and puts it in a holster. It says, we'll just, have to wait and see.
As you guys finish up breakfast, Sergeant McSkitters rolls up to the tent, calls out your names, and says, fall in! It's time for your debrief with the Major!
Yes, sir.
You guys have been lumped into a squad together as you got your assignments the previous night after turning in from your training, your day one training here. And as you all are trudging through Camp Cavalier Center, you see another set of trucks rolling into the training grounds where you were yesterday. Fresh recruits such as yourself trundling off the truck bed and meeting with another human sergeant there, putting them through the paces. McSkitters looks up as you guys see these new recruits and moves you forward and says, so tell me, soldiers, any of you ever met Major Joda Marek before? You guys probably haven't, but if you make me a culture or profession soldier check, I'll tell you what you know about your new commanding officer.
And for me, my DC culture check is reduced by 5.
For your
street rat. It says culture checks to recall knowledge about local laws, criminal underworld, rumor, and official and unofficial power players in the area, such as crime bosses, gangs, neighborhood leaders, and police, by 5.
I'll give it to you for this, but guess what? A 5 on the dice isn't gonna get us very far. It will allow. Actually, that is just enough. Same as Zinnia, a 10 on that dice. Let's see. Tyler, do you got a roll?
No, I don't have anything. I can't roll. I'm not trained in culture, and I don't have a profession soldier.
Oh, gotcha. So let's see what we've rolled here. That 10, like I said, is actually going to be enough. You've heard of, the Vesk officer in the SDF, this Joda Marek, one of the most stalwart and feared commanders in the army. Is over 60 years old and has a very storied career. The Veskarian military, the stewards, PMCs, private military consultant work in the Pact Worlds. But boy, oh boy, Jabert, what did you roll here?
That's a 22 on profession soldier, and because of my theme, I think that's -5 on the DC.
Okay, it's a little higher.
I know a few things about old lizard captain.
Not only that, he is Joda Marek, one of the few Vesk given the Starstone Medal, one of the Pact World's highest military decorations, for fighting the Swarm during the attack on the Pact Worlds, as well as the Veskarium. And there are rumors that say he turned down an offer to join the Knights of Galarion after the hostilities ended. In addition to that, there have been rumors, but you have confirmed in your time with the military that Major Joda Marek joined the SDF at the beginning of the Swarm invasion, weeks after the initial Swarm forces landed. But he insisted on joining up and being given the rank of private at the beginning of the war, and has worked his way up to his current position in the 6 months that the war has been going on.
Holy heck.
Mm-hmm.
And so this guy is basically a legend.
Take a day off, buddy. Come on.
You are taken to the Legend's ready room, a very stern, austere tent, well lit and heated, almost balmy when you get inside. Inside, you see tactile maps as well as 3D projected terrain on a very wide table in the center. And the Vesk before you stands nearly 7 foot tall, has a modeled dark green scale, a jawline covered in spikes curved into what looks like a wicked beard. And as you walk in, his cybernetic eye focuses in on you and scans you with some red light. And this is what this gentleman looks like. Joda Marek.
He's
Almost
spiky.
reminds me, the eye reminds me of Long John Silver from Treasure Planet.
Yeah.
Or the Terminator, or...
Yeah, maybe Terminator might be a more accessible.
Less obscure.
Pop culture. I was like, let me Google that
Give
real
it to
quick.
me. It's piratey. Give it to me.
I'm with Tyler on this one.
Thank
Kano
you,
from Mortal
Miles.
Kombat, if you will.
Oh man, even that one. Way to go, Drew. So
keep it with the video game theme. Just
in addition to that, I love the art that they produce here. The spikes, almost looks like a beard. So that's what he looks like. And as you guys get in, Sergeant McSkitters says, "At attention, squad! It's Major Joda Marek reporting for duty." The pint-sized sergeant salutes with 3 hands and strikes his fist against his shoulder ident tag. And Major Joda Marek, very lowly, says, "That will be all, Sergeant. Thank you." The Vesk walks out from behind his desk, kind of looks you all up and down, and then walks down the line, inspecting your dark blue armor. He takes the cannon off of your back, Echo 7, pops the battery out, tests the lead by licking it. He adjusts the straps around Zinnia's wings on her armor, things like that. And after about a minute of this grueling, silent inspection, he starts in and says,
I am your new commanding officer. The name's Joda Marek, and I was killing Swarm before you were clutching at your mother's tails. I know more about this enemy than every soft-skinned general in this system, and I know for a fact we're losing this war. You've probably heard over the last 7 days, the Swarm's retreated from some of the smaller cities to the east of Bernoa. The media and the SDF alike are calling this a turning point in the war, but I know better. Those Vexers, they're up to something, and I'm not letting the 5th Battalion get caught with their spacesuits around their ankles. You're now part of what I'm calling Midnight Squad, and for your first assignment, you're going to patrol the Delta Escarpment a few miles west of Camp Cavalier, from sundown to sunup, and report back with any unusual activity. What are your questions?
He pauses and highlights an area on the holographic display, kind of points to the map where he's talking about. What do you guys have to ask?
Sir, have there been any sightings of the swarm in this area?
Not yet, of course. Hopefully, if I send you all out there, you're gonna find nothing as well. But if you spot any evidence of creatures not native to this planet, you report back immediately. You know what I call heroes who try to take on the swarm one-handed? I call them dead.
You mentioned that you are worried about their movements. Is there something in your experience that makes you worried in particular?
I've fought the swarm on dozens of different fronts. Every time they're different. Even here on Suskillon, there's something more cunning about these critters, like they've got a purpose. Something other than just killing everything in their field of view. We're seeing a number of new variations in their ranks, including the expendable scouts we're calling dredgers.
So they're developing some kind of hierarchy.
He looks back at his data pad. It looks very teeny in his very large clawed hand and says,
Private Zinnia, your file indicates you've got field scientist honors. Why don't you tell me what you know about these base components?
And Rebecca, why don't you make me a life science check? Anyone can make this. See if you can impress your new major with your knowledge.
Right. And if this is a xenobiology, I get a -5 to the DC.
Oh, this is as weird as alien biology gets.
Yeah.
Swarm. What'd you roll?
That was a 23.
All right. So -5 from the DC of that. Yeah.
Yep.
You know a great deal about them.
Swarm component, codenamed dredger, is a quadrupedal insect. Average body length is 3 feet, orange striations on its carapace are thought to be an adaptation to the planet Alumchuva's soil. Newer dredgers have red colorization for Suskillon soil. We have records of them hooking into SDF armor and using its hooked barbs to stay on a trooper until it is downed. They are used by the swarm in the thousands for large-scale terraforming and can divert a river in a few days' time, using their burrowing to excavate long tunnels. They are fast, maintain a bite that can pierce armor, but are not that strong, and a well-placed Doshko can take one down in one single swipe.
Where's the Dross? We need him.
He's right here. It's Joda Marek. He's your new best friend.
Sir, I'm sure you've taken many a Doshko to the dredgers in your day.
A little racist that you think that's my weapon, but yes, I do use a Doshko.
I was thinking the same thing.
Of course I use a Doshko. They're nasty little critters, about the size of a kazak, and they will indeed burrow right under you. That is a textbook answer, Private Zinnia. My kill count is 112 since joining the war. If you put enough rounds into these dredgers, they go down like any other living being, but there's always 1 or 2 more ready to take a dead one's place. You remember that. Any other questions for Joda Marek?
Sprouts clears his throat. Now, maybe tune up the wrong ringer here, but I gotta ask. You seen another Raxlad around here named Briar?
I have seen many in my day in fighting the swarm, but none under my command.
Sprouts just nods and kind of slinks back.
You are a brave one to be entering into this combat. These things are large enough to tear you limb from limb, little one.
Doesn't sound like bravery to me. Sounds like I got a case of the stupid.
Maybe we all do.
Why don't you guys make me a sense motive check?
This is the first season that I'm actually somewhat almost decent at this skill.
Oh boy. Oh,
2 natural ones.
here come the ones.
Oh,
3.
Never mind.
Here they come.
I am not somewhat kind of good at this skill. Can I get a birthday reroll, maybe?
I
feel like
want to point out that I have a -1 to sense motive, and I have rolled the second highest.
Yeah, I feel like Rebecca and Tyler and I are all just sort of like, yeah, we're for sure. This is great. Yeah, we believe you, Captain.
You don't seem to quite understand it, but Sprouts, in getting that answer, that laugh, something seems behind that laugh. Joda Marek seems to be holding something back from you, from your character, Miles, from Sprouts.
The Sprouts internally was like, that's when I sized him up. I didn't like the cut.
Oh, we get internal monologue from Sprouts all the time? I love this. What are you interested in pressing the subject, seeing what he's thinking about?
Sprouts is definitely curious, but he's gonna let it lie for right now. He knows if he pushes too much, it can arouse suspicion or can escalate the situation. So he's gonna keep it close to his chest. But he's definitely got his eye on this lizard.
I should say, I'm looking at the rolls here now. Echo 7, you've also passed the sense motive check. Would Echo 7 have the same inhibitions, or would you bring this up?
What's a 7-letter word for the actress who starred in the Hollow movie To Kill a Flocking Stord?
What?
A flocking stord.
Did Drew just have a stroke?
Yeah, Rebecca, go upstairs and check on Drew real quick.
Do you smell
go check on him?
toes?
No, quickly.
What are you talking
If you smell almonds, get out of there.
Echo was not paying attention. However, he seems that something's wrong, but he wasn't listening, so he doesn't know.
Okay.
Something feels off about the situation, but he doesn't know what because he was doing a puzzle.
All right, imposing a -2 penalty on your own sense motive roll. That is that's a risky maneuver, but I like it. So you failed that check. Right.
So Zenny would speak up. Back to the problem at hand. You want us to keep an eye out for foreign beings, especially Swarm. If they're burrowing, is there an easy way to spot them while they're underground that you know of?
There's no easy way to find these dredgers, but if they're out there, they'll find you.
My race is very proficient at burrowing. The least I can do is check below us for recently dug tunnels. That is all.
Yes, between the two of us, we should be able to point them out before they get too close.
Feel like we're doing a gruff voice competition.
I'm sorry about that. I meant for mine. I didn't realize we were doing the same thing here. Sorry.
And Tyler's mic volume is so low that he could probably stand to go up a little bit because he's not as gruff, but he's a little more quiet.
I think I need to be closer to the mic.
Okay. Joda Marek looks you guys up and down and says,
if there are no further questions, see to Sergeant McSkidder about your equipment, or if you have any last-minute questions. It's a long patrol, so rest up until it's time for you to muster out.
I have a question. Is Captain McSkidder a skittermander?
Joda Marek looks back over his shoulder and...
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay, just wanted to make sure our lives were in the hands of a skittermander. Great. That's wonderful. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day, Captain.
That is some inappropriate conversation, Trest. They are members of the Viscarium, and many of them honored soldiers.
As you turn to leave, Joda Marek says,
Private Trest, a moment of your time alone, if you'll so permit me.
I look back at the gang like, oops, I did it this time.
You dug your own grave, friend. I will see you outside.
Can Sprouts kind of like pop onto his back and like hide so we can hear the conversation since he's so tiny?
No, he's got a full view of you, and if you look like you're about to jump on anyone's back, Joda Marek growls at you. No, just Trest can hang back as the rest of you leave, and he kind of looks down at his data pad again, Jabert, towards Trest and says,
Your file says you're charged with desertion at the start of the war. They caught you MIA hundreds of miles away from the battle at Stone Sea. I'll have you know, Trest, I don't tolerate cowards in my battalion.
No, sir, and I hope you won't find any.
If I do not call for a retreat and I ever catch your backside running from the enemy under my command, you'll taste my Doshcoat's blade, and I'll send you to answer whoever god it is you worship, son. Do you understand me?
Clearly, sir. Clearly.
He moves with a cat-like quickness up to your side, extends a clawed hand almost with a threatening amount of speed towards your chest, but kind of corrects it and offers it for you to shake.
I take the hand and I give it a pump.
It's a strong grip, and as you do, there is a spark of energy. As just for a moment, you can kind of feel his emotions just beaming telekinetically through this grip. Those of anger and pride, maybe a little bit of fear coursing through him like an electrical current. He pulls his hand back, maybe a little confused at first, but then he gives you a very stern look and kind of nods sharply towards the door, beckoning you to leave.
I'll see you tomorrow, Captain. And I turn and walk out.
Right. So that is your guys' assignment as Midnight Squad. And it is about 10 a.m. So you have some time to kill before you have to go out on patrol. If there are last minute purchases you guys want to make, you can do that now. Does anybody have any credits, which will be kind of like military store credit still to use? Is there anything you guys want to buy last minute?
No, but I will be Echo 7 will be taking the time to craft a frag grenade.
Ooh, yeah. So that's part of your soldiers, not subclass, but your specialization.
Combat
right?
style, yes.
Yeah, combat style. Bombard?
Yes.
So you just like have a bag full of explosive charges and like grenade shells and stuff like that you can throw together into a haphazard grenade, and I don't know, just like hold it with like in one hand the entire time, I guess.
It'll be fine. I got a Pepsi can lid, Space Pepsi, so that's the good pen.
Right, so you have plenty of time to do that. You can do the assemble and disassemble thing like 30 times in a row and time yourself if you want. But yeah, when you guys are ready, well after dusk, you're brought together again to the west gate of Camp Cavalier, where you see other soldiers kind of mustering up to go on patrols in various cardinal directions. As you are headed out, why don't you guys make me a survival check, see if you can follow the route you've given, the map to get to your patrol zone.
I get us to live off the land.
Well, sorry, mine should have been a 5.
It's okay. That's I think the highest roll. Oh no, we've got a high Devasho, a high Sprouts roll, each of 18. That's going to do it. You guys can take a look here. It's fairly straightforward path through the snow-covered hills. It looks like maybe old hiking trails. Pretty easy to follow. Isn't much out that way. But from this topographical relief you've seen, yeah, there's a range of low hills to the south. You kind of start to skirt along it, and yeah, just about an hour or so into your march, it's pitch black outside. You're far enough away from the camp and the city of Brenoa's lights that you have a great view of Suskillon's sky through some fluffy gray snow clouds. And yeah, the starlight here provides dim light, so let's talk about eyesight. Who here has low light vision or dark vision?
Zinnia does.
Does anybody not? Yes.
I don't. I have blind sense for 30 feet, I think. But I also have a flashlight, so
you can't sense those stars up there. That's a little.
I'm gonna shine my flashlight at the stars and see them.
I don't think I have any dark vision or blind sense.
Okay. And it is freezing cold temperatures out here. Let's talk about environmental protections. Are you guys using your EPs, your suits to bundle up?
Yes.
Is it a day per level that you have? Is that right?
It's 24 hours. I should say, I think Suskillon's 26 hours is a full day. So a little bit of a discrepancy there. But are you guys all rocking level 1 armor, I'm guessing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I have a level 2 armor. Devasho has level 2 armor.
Okay. So, I mean, you're definitely good. But, I mean, the patrol, you guys, you're done when the sun comes up. So you should be fine. Let's talk.
Do I get any bonus to that for being constructed? I know I can survive in vacuum, but I don't know if that means sub-zero temperatures.
I don't know what happens when you leave your computer out in the snow, Drew. You freeze, sir.
I mean, some computers work better because they have so much going on.
For a little bit, and then they stop.
Well, as evidenced earlier, there's not a whole lot going on in Echo 7.
Oh, he was playing 4 different games at once. He had.
Oh my God, are you a walkie console and or PC playing video games?
All of them are Minesweeper though, so you know.
You know the funny thing, he knows Kenny's gonna die in every episode, but it never gets old. It just never gets old.
I think you meant Space Kenny. Let's be real here. And let's finally talk about weapons as you guys are marching. Are you marching with your weapons drawn, stowed, or what?
Browse is definitely gonna have his weapon drawn.
So your Elfan, your little semi octopi tentacles are like holding a giant pistol as you're trudging through the snow.
So Xenia would like to attune her camouflage membrane if we're in a place that I can do that.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting here. The main kind of like clay-like soil of these hills is very red, blood red almost, and then on top of that you've got these huge patches of white and blue snow and ice. So once you attune your camouflage, it's a pretty cool red, white, and like black mix.
Cool.
So guys are out in patrol in these snowy badlands, and
one of the things that I do want to have Devasho do maybe every so often is just burrow down and check to see if there are any tunnels running through the area.
Oh yeah, you're the resident digger here with a burrow speed. I was freaking about that.
Yeah.
As you guys are doing this, maybe taking some time to investigate, dig down a little bit. What are you guys talking about? What are you doing while you patrol? It's hours are passing at this point.
Xenia, you seem to be the swarm expert here. Do you agree with our new mage's instincts that there is something afoot?
It's possible. The rumors about their psychic abilities pique my interest. I'd be interested to see some in action, see how they behave. I have done a good bit of studying of the swarm, although not up close, more research from afar, if you will. So I'd like to see one in action.
I feel like you are going to get your wish sooner than you think.
Do you see a burrow?
No, but ever since we have come out here, maybe it is just the pre-war jitters, but I have a bad feeling.
I think you've got delusions of grandeur.
I also have been known to have delusions of grandeur. I have been posted to many guard duties, and this is the first chance for me to serve Suskillon in a major war effort. So maybe I am just a bit eager.
Well, that makes 2 of us. I'm eager to see them myself.
What's Trest and Echo 7 doing at this point in, if you guys are like maybe towards the front, kitted out with some good gear? What do you got to say?
I'm maybe asking Echo 7 to sort of scan the horizon while I'm sort of getting down on the ground and sort of checking for evidence of tracks or anything like that.
Acknowledged, scanning, horizon, and then Echo's like, does this guy really think I'm gonna... I can't see anything here. This is ridiculous.
It's so dark, they think I have dark vision.
Oh, God. Then Tress stands up and like points the flashlight around and is like, "Good work, Echo. That's wonderful work. I'm really glad that we're on the same team together. I'm not so sure about these yahoos back here, but you and me, we stick together." Let's start walking forward again.
High five emoji.
I don't see it. I just keep walking.
Because you're in complete darkness. Drew, do you have any light source on you?
Nope, I don't.
That seems like a little bit of an oversight. I would stick close to Trest.
I literally spent all 1,000 credits. I have nothing left over.
Oh, goodness. That's like you're trying to hit the button on A Price is Right. You're like, I'm going to use every single credit.
I just have to point out, it seems like you would have learned your lesson after season 2.
Yeah,
because this is a problem.
It seems
You'd think.
It seems like I'm the guy that bought the cryo weapon in the frozen tundra.
Their only weakness. Well, I should say Suskillon is a temperate planet, but
I mean, sometimes, right?
Yeah, it has a odd orbit. So every couple of years, there is a straight up Game of Thrones long winter, and this is one of them.
Yeah, and I am a sweet summer child. So,
what's the internal monologue of a Sprouts Marlowe like in this hike?
Well, Sprouts is still kind of chewing on the meeting with the major, because he knows that something stinks. But
something about what he said didn't sit right.
Yeah, it didn't sit right with him, and he's kind of just trying to assess the situation, whether or not he should do something or when he should do something, and really just kind of trying to figure out what about the major stinks to him.
As you guys are marching hours into your patrol, your legs are starting to feel it. The cold's kind of keeping you alert. At the very least, you're energized by how brisk it is outside, and you've seen nothing out here but the red baked earth and clay and these white snowbanks. But then, Trest, as your eyes kind of stuck to the ground, your flashlight alights something, marks in the snow. They do indeed look like tracks of some kind, like an animal has been through here. Give me another survival check, folks, and I'll tell you what you can tell from these. Oh yeah, Trest got a good one here. 16, a natural 20 from Zinnia. Rebecca, just gonna waste all these natural 20s. Oh boy. A 0 from Drew. He rolled a straight 0. That's in keeping with your night vision here. I mean, you spot them, Trest, but Zinnia, you're able to tell.
Yeah, I'd sort of wave Zinnia up, just because I know that Zinnia is the one with all the xenobiology experience.
I mean, it's definitely, you can tell it's not, like a little dart mouse or whatever it might be still scrounging out here. This is a large creature, and Zinnia, you can tell that this is indeed the tracks of a Suskillon brush stalker, an endangered predator here on the planet, and the tracks are only a few hours old. They are softened by maybe a recent snowfall, but still easy to mark, kind of heading south outside of your zone.
Stay alert, crew. There's something out there.
Yeah, this is a native creature.
So is this running from inside of our zone, outside of our zone?
Looks like it, yeah. Looks like it kind of meanders away.
All right, so not like it was being chased by something into our zone, which would be unusual because like it would a small predator wouldn't typically run towards a bunch of people, a big civilization.
Are very guarded, kind of like paced steps. You can see they're kind of close together.
I see. So this was not like a scramble. Okay.
No.
Okay.
But that's, I mean, you don't see any hide nor hair of this creature, which those of you that have lived on the planet some time, it's a pretty creepy looking thing. The rest of your control is completely quiet. And before too long, you see the faint blues showing up on the eastern horizon, noting dawn's not too far off, and you guys should begin your hike back to camp. And it's as you guys are leaving the Delta Escarpment that those of you with comm units hear an alert sound. Just
transmission incoming.
Oh yeah, you recognize it as an all points bulletin alarm. The tone is followed by loud static and then a female voice breathing heavily into some far-off transceiver as she says, "Attention all Suskillon ground forces. Space Dock Prime 1 here. We're under attack. Swarm Armada's entered low orbit and has begun to..." The transmission cuts off as abruptly as it started, replaced with a burst of ear-splitting static. And you see up in the sky towards the northeast, above the city of Brenoa, hundreds of small lights flashing, the telltale sign of starship combat. What do you guys do?
Return to base, because there's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah, it's time to get in your starship, everyone that you don't have.
I think it's time to reconnoiter with the rest of the forces and maybe stage a rescue of Brenoa. Wait, you said they were landing, or
I mean,
it
looks like
fighting above.
Yeah, it looks like a battle. And maybe every once in a while you see what looks like a little plume of light, perhaps an explosion.
Yeah, we need to go reconnoiter with the forces just in case there's a relief of Brenoa upcoming.
As you guys get a move on, hustling back kind of the way you came, everyone give me a perception check. And just tell me those numbers. Tell me what you're getting.
11.
Is it dim right now?
It is dim light, yes.
Oh, great. I get a +2 then. So that's a 13.
Ooh.
That's got a 14.
Strix are just, this is like the best time for you, right? Like dusk and dawn.
Dusk and dawn, yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Echo
It was
7.
like it was written for you.
Echo 7, shocked out of his goofing around by fear, has rolled a natural 20.
or perhaps encouraged by Trest's belief in you.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Excellent. Right, so everyone that rolled over a 14 here sees in the dim light, the small bright explosions, and perhaps you see as well something much closer to you. What looks like small figures moving through the snowbanks. We're in combat, everybody. I need everyone to roll initiative. Now.
It's happening.
Is this first initiative of the season?
Oh, yeah, everybody. Oh, no.
Oh, natural 20 on that initiative roll.
Louise, Rebecca.
Oh, this is going to be bad.
Zinnia's ready.
Oh, I didn't click my character.
19. Devasho also ready.
21.
But not as.
Can you add me to the thing?
Oh, yeah, your little small token. I'm going to...
I got a 4.
That's okay. That's not
Question,
bad.
Patrick. Is my camouflage membrane still applicable here, or is it no longer the same kind of area?
Yeah, no, it's good until, like, you change it again, right?
Yeah, I just mean, like, we haven't changed the biome that we're in, right?
No, indeed. Cool. All right, feels good. So yeah, as some of you are able to check, everyone that rolled over a 14 on perception, boy, oh boy, I think that is a Sprouts and Echo 7. You're gonna be able to see these small figures from like just shadow outlines moving through the snowbanks here towards your direction. Two of them, these small little monstrous swarm components with vicious-looking hooks in their claws and looks like a trifurcated mouth with 3 long pincers. This is exactly what Joda Marek warned you about. Swarm dredgers. And bingo bango. We're going to the map, everybody. Let me just first pop in what these guys look like for you.
Oh, delightful.
So about 3 foot long, and I hate bugs. I don't know why they tapped me to write this AP. I had to describe this thing. It freaks me out. All right, let me put this back. Alrighty, and we are in initiative turn order in our surprise round.
Patrick, sorry. Let's see. Did any of them come within 30 feet of me?
They are just moving in as we start here. Yeah.
Okay. So that wouldn't interact with my blind sense at all.
As we're starting the combat here, you're just getting a little tingling of.
I see. Got it.
Oh, there's something else here. Oh no. So they're about 30 feet away. I think I've started.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have some time here, and first in the initiative order for our surprise round. Wow, it looks like Miles, is that correct? Miles, you rolled over the 14 and a 21 on the initiative. You've got a move or a standard action. You've sensed or seen these things moving up towards you. What would you like to do? I've placed you on the map behind a giant Trox, who's currently in the way, but I guess you're like poking between his legs.
Get out there, Sprouts.
How does it feel not to be the giant thing in people's way, Miles, but instead have that character in your way?
Yeah, it's not too bad. Sprouts is probably just gonna take a shot at the closest bug.
Mm-hmm. You want to move forward so you have an unobstructed view?
I do not.
No,
right?
No, that's fine. That would maybe make you a little bit of a target, detective. All right, we have some negatives here. I'm not gonna lie. Shooting through Trox's legs, and I think you've got dark vision 30 feet.
Yes.
All right, I think you're just there for this one. Max damage for your first attack. Is that what you're saying? 4 with a azimuth laser pistol?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's a good chunk of chitin and what looks like bug goop splattered through this thing as you get a through and through shot in the middle of its carapace. Alrighty, and next in the initiative turn order is actually these things going in the surprise rounds. Whoop. And they are going to use their turn to just move up onto you guys. Just move as close as they can. Let's see here. I think one is going to go up to our good friend Echo 7 and Trox, just right there. And the other one's going to go up to the other side of the Trox, flanking, if you will, and also right next to our good friend Trest. That is their movement for the surprise round. And Drew, you have also rolled into the surprise round. Go ahead and give me a move or standard action. Now we've got one of these things right up on top.
I wanted to attack, but I think I need to take a guarded step back.
Okay, so that is a move action. We're going into the first full round. Everyone up in this turn one. Zinnia with a natural 20. Believe it or not, the operative goes first. One of the operatives.
Yeah,
actually, both of the operatives. It's Zinnia and then Sprouts. Rebecca, what you got? You're about 10 feet away from both of these things.
Yeah, Zinnia is going to stealthily fly up onto the snowbank over here.
All right, so moving a little bit easternly.
Yeah, a little bit to the east. Still in camouflage with my camouflage membrane. I'm going to make a trick attack and shoot with my laser pistol. And additionally, since is it still dim light?
It is indeed.
And I have my camouflage membrane active, so it's actually going to be a +4 to the stealth check.
Oh, like you needed help here.
I know. I don't really know how to do that with the macro thing, but
just roll it and you can add it to it afterwards. Basically, you'll be adding 4 CR to whatever the total comes out to.
Oh no. All right.
Oh no.
That's not good.
You've made the trick attack. Good job.
Yeah, my trick attack went off.
Yeah, they don't see.
Congratulations.
Sure.
Yeah.
But then I rolled a natural 1 on the attack.
Oh no.
First one of the campaign.
Hey, don't we have a nice little message for that?
I think we do. I think we have something brand new.
Folks, they certainly went all in, but they should have cleared their cache first. It's no good with a natural 1 on the dice. Critical fail. The nail on the coffin.
Oh my.
Oh,
Kaboom!
Oh, that hurts. That hurts.
Boom shakalaka. First one. And first attack with this character in combat. Zinnia's laser pistol, frozen solid almost. You gotta warm that baby up. What do you want for your crit fail here? Do you want the Crittermander deck, our fan-created online resource, or do you want to use Paizo's official critical fail deck?
I think for the first critical fail of the campaign, we should go with the one on the website.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, that is so
Pay some
brave.
homage to our Crittermanders.
So brave.
The Paizo
She's sucking up to the fans.
It's so much more lenient.
Well, this one doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but it is submitted by one of our longtime friends, Rabbit, and it's overexposed, sun in your eyes. So
in the dim light?
Yeah, well, the sunlight of distant suns and in the form of starlight might be too much for your Strix vision glinting off the snow here. You look down at your barrel and catch a direct reflection, maybe from the blast. You can make it either reflex or fortitude. I imagine you're going to want to do a reflex save.
I am indeed. Oh no, that's an 8.
Oh no, natural toot.
Natural toot.
I think we have something for that too.
It's almost like we have something brand new for this.
We're just gonna get them all out on Xenia's turn.
Didn't plan this.
Oh, they let it rip! What a disaster! A truly disgusting roll by the player. It's a natural toot. Toot, toot, kaboom!
Toot, toot, kaboom!
Oh boy.
Toot, toot, kaboom!
Toot Toot Kaboom needs to be the new motto for crit.
I feel like we didn't.
Kaboom shirts in the store as we speak.
We should explain the legendary Tim Kitzrow did some recordings for us.
Boom shakalaka.
AKA the announcer from NBA Jam
and NFL Blitz. So we have some new drops this season. Look forward to them.
So this one, it's not terrible, but you are dazzled for 3 rounds.
Oh no.
Xenia's dazzled. So -1 to attack rolls and perception checks. Our good friend Rabbit is a fan of the players, not the GM. So that's a pretty light one, but a miss all the same. And that's going to bring us on to Miles again. Miles, our little Raxolite buddy.
Okay, so he is going to take aim kind of in between Echo 7 and is that Devasho right here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the giant trucks.
The giant trucks, yes.
And it's going to try to hit the bug that was threatening Echo 7.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, so shooting at the other dredger.
Yeah, doing a little trick attack action.
All right, so go ahead and likewise make that skill check, and you're going to be using Sense Motive and an attack roll.
All right, it's a CR 11 or lower.
That'll do.
Is that 14 on the dice?
14 to hit against a flat-footed AC. EAC, that is a hit.
That's a total of 5 points of damage.
All right, so a little bit more than last time, scoring a second hit against this duo of bugs. Tyler, we are on to Devasho.
So Devasho is going to spend a move action, and you see from his, one of his maybe chitinous plates, his mote of darkness, and he clutches that to form his 8-foot tower shield with kind of dark horns coming off the top of it. And then he is going to move, so you may make your attacks of opportunity.
Oh, you're crazy, man.
Yeah, and
you want 2 attacks of opportunity? Is that what's happening?
I mean, I think so.
Oh my goodness! All right, let's go ahead and let's get my first attack rolls of this season.
I always like it when Patrick attacks me first. Oh gosh, Patrick, don't attack me first!
Oh no, the first one is a natural 20, folks. You don't like to hear that.
I think we got something prepped for that.
We have something brand new.
Ladies and gentlemen, they reached deep down into their bag of tricks and pulled out a natural 20. Boom shakalaka. That's what you call a cosmic crit. Kaboom! 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 Kaboom!
Boom. And this other attack is a 9 on the dice. What is your KAC?
17.
17. With the flanking that they had here, the square you're moving out of, that is a hit, sir. So we got some damage coming to the giant shielded friend here. Let me roll this crit first, just straight double damage. All right, very low. You're getting off with a warning this time, mister. I've rolled a 2 and a 1, and in total, that is 9 points of damage. 9 on the
All right. I am into hit point damage.
All right, the second hit is coming at you now. Let's do that one. A little bit more, 7 points of damage for a regular hit.
I am bloodied.
Oh no!
That is your turn, right? You've moved and you've moved as a standard.
Yes, that is correct.
Alrighty, so it's their turn now. And let's have some fun. This one is still adjacent to you technically. And this one is adjacent to a Trest who hasn't gone yet. Let's make some more dice roll. Let's go against Devasho first. Can do no wrong here. An 18 on the dice, and this one that has just critted you is not attacking with a claw. It just climbs up on your back and kind of digs itself into your armor, and it has attached itself to you, as you have heard Joda Marek explain that they kind of latch onto soldiers' armor, and this other one is going to do the same to Trest. And a 19 on the dice. So
all right,
I've rolled almost a straight here, 18, 19, and a 20. This one is attached to Trest as well, and that is their standard action. They are now like on the backs of your teammates, attached as per the rules. That is their full turn, and we are on to Drew.
Okay, so Echo 7 is going to ready his hail cannon and take a shot at this one that is attached itself to Devasho.
Mm-hmm. All right, so it's a little harder to hit now that this thing is like crawling into the back plates of your Trox friend. So you're gonna have to nail this one, bullseye style.
I mean, is that not true for both of them at this point, though?
Oh yeah, both of them are attached. I'm just saying, little harder than it was before.
Devasho, apologies.
Apologies if I roll this 1, because that crit's definitely gonna hit you. That crit thing. Ooh, what'd you roll?
That is an 18 hit.
Ooh. So the attach rules is once they are attached, they get a +4 bonus to the AC from cover. Against KAC, which is what you're rolling though, 18 is still a hit.
Nice.
Yes.
All right, what did you got?
All right, guys, get ready for this whopping 1 damage. Heavy weapons coming at ya.
You've rolled minimum. Oh no. All right, well, every little bit helps, as we have determined. But yeah, this is a glancing blow that kind of just bounces off. Maybe it's a bit of Trox hard plate, a little bit of dredger carapace, but yeah, it doesn't seem to be that effective. Bottom of the turn order, Jabert, this thing is climbing all up on your armor. This is different from grappling. You are not grappled. Okay. But it is indeed attached to you.
So would I be taking a penalty to my attack, or is it just getting cover bonus against attacks?
It's getting cover bonuses, and it also gets a melee bonus if it's going to attack you, because that trifurcated, these 3 long teeth on its mouth are right next to your armor now.
Yeah. Let's see.
So I should tell you that you can try and remove it with a strength check as a move action before you go crazy with your standard. Unless you've got another thing planned for your move.
Well, so my second question is, are these things flankable like this? So in other words, could I move 20 feet to my west and flank the one that is burrowing into Devasho?
Can you move to the... Oh, yeah. So, yes, you can flank the one that's on Devasho. The one that is attached to you, though, is coming with you for the ride.
Yeah, right. I would imagine that's probably the case. Alrighty. Come along, friendo. So I'm gonna just sort of drag this thing along, and as I go, I draw out my my tactical dueling sword, and I sort of spin around and I slash at the almost knocked my phone off the desk. and I slash at the dredger that is attached to my good friend Devasho.
Now, I would warn you that movement would normally provoke, but this thing being attached to Devasho, it doesn't seem to be able to reach you. Reach where you're at for that attack of opportunity.
Yeah, it's otherwise occupied. I would imagine
it's trying to eat Tyler's character in episode 1.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Make me that attack.
All right, so this is +2 for flanking and 17 on the attack.
17 against KAC, and is that with flanking?
That's with flanking.
Exactly what you needed.
Woo! Yes. 8 points of damage as I slash through.
Near max, and you chop this thing in half. It's dead.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah. And then I point to the one on me and I go, hey!
Oh gosh, there's one of your two.
I have your back. Literally, I have your back. I will get it.
It's all over me.
Don't move, but you have one on you too. Before we get to that though, turn to top of it, Zinnia, your laser pistol, good and warmed up now from that shot. Your action, what would you like to do, Rebecca?
Yeah, I have a question. Having just seen what's your name? Trust.
That's my name.
In half, and also knowing what I know about Doshkos being really good against these things, would it be wise for me to go and hit it with a melee weapon?
Well, that's up to you, but from what you know, they don't seem to be, have any damage reduction or resistance whatsoever. A pistol might be as effective as a sword.
Okay.
But
well, I'm going to go and hit it anyway, because that's what you do when you see a bug on your friend's shoulder. You go and hit them, right? So I'm going to fly over stealthily.
I will say
behind Trust.
It's in this square right here, just to the lower left, so you can move right next to it there.
Yep, and I'm going to use my tactical baton along with the trick attack.
Okay, so stealthily gliding on over.
Stealthily gliding over. It's still dim, and I still have my camouflage membrane, so that is actually like CR 7 or lower.
Yeah, that'll do. That trick goes off.
Awesome, and that's a 17 to hit.
And as we have determined prior, that is going to be a hit against these things. Not even cheating. They are. That one's flat-footed. So what's we got for damage?
5 damage altogether.
All right. It's not looking too good. You crack open like its midsection, and you see guts start just oozing out of it all onto Tress's armor. Miles, we are back to Sprouts. You've hit this one once before, but it is now attached to your friend.
All right, so Sprouts is going to move to the other side of Echo 7, try to get a good
clean
shot on this little monster, and take his shot. CR 7 or lower, but
that'll do.
12 to hit.
12 against EAC. But unfortunately, with the even flat-footed with that attach, that is going to be a miss. Oh, sorry.
I demand a recount.
I should say, Rebecca, you needed more than a 17. You needed to hit that trick attack because you are dazzled. The 17.
Oh, right.
16.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
But yeah, trick attack went off. So, but this time that is a miss, and that brings us back to Devasho, who might be bleeding a little bit of bug juice himself. Tyler, what you got?
Can I use the strength move action thing to rip that off of Trust as well? Or is that just if it's attached to yourself?
Great question. I think anyone can do it as a move action. It just says a move action can be used to rip it off. But mind you, you're gonna have to move over there, and that will be also your standard.
Yeah, probably could do better by just trying to hit it at this point. It's already taken a few hits. Devasho's gonna move up, and knowing that this thing can't lash out at him while it's attached, is going to get into perfect position and raise up that tower-like shield and bring it down with all his might.
All right, let's see this attack.
I have rolled a 10 on the dice.
Ooh, okay, all right.
And I am flanking, so that is going to be a 16.
Oh no. 16 is not gonna do it against
so close.
That is attached. I am sorry. We are going to its turn, and it is, as I said, it is attached to Trest, which means it's going to try and make its bite attack on Trest. It's got a little bit of a bonus here, so I can roll better than a natural 2. No. Oh yeah, it's trying to get through the armor, but you just hear clank, clank, clank.
I'm just like kaboom.
I'm just like, I'm sliding my sword in between its jaws and trying to pry it loose. Like,
Drew, it's not dead yet, and it is your turn. What does Echo 7 want to do?
All right, so I'm assuming Echo 7 needs to move a little bit to get a decent shot on this guy.
Well, yep, you're on the back side, the other side of Trest, so shooting now, and it's going to be a lot harder.
So Echo 7's going to move over here past where Sprouts is
all right,
standing.
This is clean shot territory. You and Sprouts are in.
All right, so let's do it. Hail cannon.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
oh no.
Natural 1.
Oh, they let it rip. What a disaster. A truly disgusting roll by the player. It's a natural toot. Toot, toot, toot. Kaboom!
I will never be angry at rolling a natural 1 myself if we're playing these sound effects. Drew, you want the deck now, the Paizo official, now that we've gone through all the good critical fails on our website.
Yeah, that's fine.
And you are doing both energy and kinetic damage. Which one would you like for your fail?
Energy.
That cold is gonna get you, buddy. This fail is called Dang It! Reroll the attack against a randomly determined target within line of sight that the weapon can target.
Oh no.
Drew, if you shoot Dalmashow right now, oh buddy, I'm getting a plane ticket down to your home.
All right, well, I will say that so it's not going to be able to go against this dredger, but if you're shooting your allies who are not currently in a flashlight's beam right now, at the very least, there will be a 50% mischance because you can't see the dark.
But no chance you can hit the dredger?
No, you
everyone.
Oh no, you've missed against it. It's a randomly determined target.
He can see everyone because when I am lit with stellar energy, I emit 20 feet of light.
Oh yeah, good point. Reroll the attack randomly against.
Also, I'm pointing my flashlight at Devasho. So.
Hey, don't call me out.
I'm just saying. I'm looking down at this bug on my chest, and you're on the other side of it. He can just see your feet. I feel like maybe.
I just don't want Drew's character to murder Tyler's character in episode 1, but this could happen. I will add the dredger in because it just says randomly determined target.
Yeah,
line of sight. So you got a 1 in 5 chance, Drew, of hitting this target. We're gonna go down the initiative order for this D10 roll or D5, whatever you want to do. You are, looks like 5 or 6.
Okay, 5 or 6.
Right there in the middle. You want a 7 or 8, Drew. Just roll me that dice. I'll tell you who you got here.
Here's a D10.
No whammy, no whammy, no whammy. No 5, no 6. No 5, no 6.
Yes! 7 or 8. You got another chance to hit this dredger.
Yes!
Oh! MVP, Drew!
Don't roll another 1. Okay. All right. The sweat is off of my brow. What'd you get here on the second roll?
That's a 14.
Oh my goodness. You might as well have rolled a critical hit for getting 2 shots off at this thing. 14. Yeah, unfortunately, though, that is still going to be a miss because it is still attached to our friend Trest against KAC. But bottom of the turn order, Jabert, you have a chance here, sir, to do it yourself.
I'm going to do it. So I've got my sword sort of turned, like put in between its jaws, hold that apart, and I'm going to turn it to the side so that it's facing, like the blade is facing the guy, and I'm going to pull out, and I'm going to slice it right up the old thorax.
No, that's their weak point. That's where they got all their organs.
That's where all their pieces are. Would we call this flanking or not really?
Oh, yeah. No,
okay.
Devasho's still on the other side. He's still up.
Oh no! Oh, that's not good at all.
Oh no! Natural 3 on the dice. Do we have a drop for natural 3? No. Just a miss.
It's almost like we have something brand new.
Oh no!
I'm just kidding.
Oh, goodness.
What if we had one for every number between 1 and 20?
That's a 17 on the dice. 17.
That's a 11 on the dice. 11. Ha ha.
We should mention.
Pop.
What in our exuberance for this new sound effect, we forgot to thank our Patreon subscribers for that critical hit. And we're going back to Casper at the start of season 3, and just take a moment for that character to shout out any last words they have, and that might be appropriate here. Tyler, what would Devasho's last words be if he got murdered by a dredger day 1?
Tell my family I will miss them.
No, so dark.
What would those last words be if you got murdered by a Drew?
Hey, I will burn all 50 states to find his body.
Oh my goodness!
I'm gonna burn all the copies of Dawson's Creek until I find the one that Echo 7 is watching.
Top of turn 3, Rebecca. You can end this. You are right next to this thing. What does anyone want to do?
I am going to stealthily raise my tactical baton and hit it again.
Just beating the heck out of Trest's backside.
Yeah,
this
Trest.
Thing,
sorry about this, Trest.
Yeah, this thing is melding into the armor now.
It's quite okay. I've been a bad boy.
So CR10 or lower. So the trick attack goes off.
Oh yeah.
Ouch.
And that's a 18 with dazzled.
Oh yeah, no, that is a hit, and you at max damage, 8 points of damage, bludgeon this thing well dead and off of Trest, and we are out of combat.
Hooray!
I'm like checking my carapace to make sure I don't have any holes in me.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say you're good, Trest, right?
Yeah. And then I look over and I see Devasho just oozing goo.
Yeah, Zinnia's gonna run over to Devasho and treat deadly wounds. Can I do that?
So Trest is gonna run up and pull out a med kit and set it down, and maybe we're both sort of playing with the things, but Trest is just sort of picking things up and putting them back down again. Trest doesn't really know how to use a med kit at all, but you give it a shot, and then we'll see.
Zinnia basically went to med school. I mean, she was in biology, same thing.
Oh yeah, so. No, you probably.
I've been studying some trocs on the side, so
dissected lots of bugs before.
I should tell you, my physiology isn't quite what normal trocs might have.
Oh yeah,
that might be why I got a 14 on the medicine check.
Oh, that's not gonna do it. Not for a basic med kit.
So you start poking around at different tissues and stuff, and you might notice that a lot of the cells and tissues that are kind of more resemble something you might see on Eox than you would maybe a normal Trox subject.
Like necrotic flesh and what looks like old wounds.
Oh no, this might go real bad, guys. All right, well I cast Mystic Cure. 5 points of healing damage. Now, I haven't looked up anything for an undead character, Tyler. Please tell me you didn't make an undead character, Tyler.
No, you still heal me. You're fine.
Okay, good. Okay, thank goodness. I was like, for a moment there, I was like, I cannot believe he did this to me.
Tyler, mechanically, what's happening here? You've got some necrotic parts, though, right?
Yeah, he has necrotic parts, but they do not give him. He has a black heart, and so mechanically that does a lot of things for him, but it is not enough. It is not so much, necrotic pieces that he doesn't get healed normally. There are still living tissue in him, and that can heal just fine.
Trest does move up to Devasho, who's still standing. You're still up, right, Tyler? And there's a light that just kind of engulfs you all for a brief moment as you see what looks like just energy flowing from Trest's hands and some of these wounds, maybe one of the larger critical wounds begins stitching itself up on the trunks. The carapace kind of it's like an eggshell breaking in reverse, and you see some of the sinew, the tissue underneath healing as well. Still, I imagine have some hit point damage after 3 points back.
Yeah, but Devasho looks.
That would be 5 hit points back.
So yeah, 3 on the dice, but I forgot you. Yeah, but you have some wisdom. Bonuses there. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, he's essentially fine. And he looks at both Zinnia and Trust and says,
Thank you. I have heard tales of these swarm being intense, but I never expected anything like that. I was caught completely off guard.
I tried to warn you. I told you that they dig their barbed claws into armor. Be on the lookout next time.
Perhaps my chitinous hide made me arrogant.
This is a common problem, I think. But don't worry, I had my trusty med kit here, and I start packing up my med kit and just sort of like smugly pack it into my pocket. Like I'm pretty sure it's my med kit that did all the good job. It's my lucky med kit.
No, you have magic powers.
I don't understand. I don't understand why everyone has trouble with med kits. It's very easy.
You just channeled mystical energy like a rube.
Right. I just sort of pushed a gauze onto his side and just channeled, and it was just like, ta-da!
Right, so I think everyone else might be okay, but Tyler, does Devasho want to take a little breather here? A little 10-minute break?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Right, and it's a few minutes into that, your guys' comm unit crackles to life again, and you hear very clearly for a moment the gruff voice of Major Joda Marek, who says,
"Repeat, all squadrons form up on Interregion Highway 12. Brno is being fully evacuated, and we have to defend the civilians while we are to be continued."
Oh,
no!
Bum, bum.
I am fine with that, as I need to take a bit of a rest, and then we can run over there.
I gotta retool this character real quick.
Yeah. Also, I'm never putting away my moat shield ever again. So that's just out forever now.
So that's just a thing now.
Yes. That's a thing.
Boy, oh boy, the rolls don't stop. They keep coming on this show. I love our first combat so much. They're hair raising. Remember when Tyler's character almost died?
Yeah. Remember when the GM got a critical hit and 2 of our players got 2 fails?
Oh, yeah. No, my first attack is a natural 20 of the campaign. We don't need to mention that.
Yeah, that isn't a bad omen for the entire AP at all.
It's like I got a little bit of luck and inside information into this one. I'm never clearing my cache, by the way. I hope you guys know that. Yeah. I've had the same cachet for years now on this podcast. Guys, we got more swarm action coming at you next week. Believe you and me, there is gonna be some more. It's gonna get rougher than this. This is like the first combat. And I just want to warn all of you, you players, you listeners out there listening to this, this AP is, a mile a minute, nonstop action and excitement, and maybe jump off right now if you can't handle this. This first fight already has given me some heart palpitations. But that's next week. We'll see what happens then. But until then, guys, thanks for playing with me, everyone.
Thank you, Patrick.
And out there, listeners,
thank you, sir.
Thanks for joining us again for season 3. We will see you all next week.
Good night.
Welcome to season 3.
Toot toot kaboom.
Toot toot kaboom.
Toot toot kaboom.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Cosmic Crit. This episode has been made possible through a sponsorship with Roll20 and the backing of our Critamander fans on Patreon. Thanks again and have a great week.